All right, guys, Traversal ENT here. Welcome to the first episode of Let's Have It. That's right, guys, a new series that we're doing here on this channel. Today we're going to look at Chris Eubank Jr. Let's get straight to it. All right, so Chris Eubank Jr.'s got a fight happening this Saturday, May 1st. Should be interesting for multiple reasons. As what? I want to see what Roy Jones has done with him, how much of Roy Jones' tutelage has Chris Eubank actually registered, and how much can he implement in the ring. That's what I want to see. That's what we want to see right here, right? So I don't mind him going in against a journeyman, but I don't want him to knock out the guy early because I want to see what he's learned. By the way, the guy he's fighting, his name is the famous Marcus. Oh, God, I'm sweating here. I can't. Yeah, that's how bad it is. That's how bad it is, guys. That's how bad it is. But let's continue. Let's continue. The last time I saw Chris Eubank Jr., he was looking spectacular. The last time I saw him really looking good was against the guy that Canelo just put to sleep, Avni Yildirim, right? Check it out. Literally beating the pedals out of this guy, right? No contest, isn't it? Right? Right, let's see that again. I think I want to see that knockdown one more time, guys. Look at that. Putting him straight to bed, guys. But we got to say one thing about Chris Eubank Jr. He's always in an exciting fight. I've never seen him in a boring fight. In fact, if I recall, it wasn't so long ago that he was pulling out WWE moves in the ring, wasn't he? Didn't he slam someone in the ring real hard? Let me see if my memory jogs, if my memory is correct. Let me try to jog my memory. Check out this video clip real quick, guys. There you go. Slammed him right there. I'm surprised he didn't get either a points deduction, a telling off, or some sort of something. I don't know how he got away with that. I honestly don't know. But anyway, back to Chris Eubank Jr., right? So, what do I want? What do I not want to see? Now, so far, it's been said that a lot of Chris Eubank Jr.'s highlight reels, aside from the uppercut city, a lot of it is what you're about to see here. Him punching or shall I call it a rapid fire on gym equipments. We are so used to seeing Eubank Jr. do that, but believe it or not, I don't want to see that, guys. Check it out. Yeah, as I said, that right there, I absolutely do not want to see, right? Now, what I do want to see is a little bit of fine-tuned finesse skills that Roy Jones implementing onto him. And actually, to be honest, I had a quick view, or should I say a quick clip, and I was quite happy with what I was seeing, because check out what Roy Jones is doing with Chris Eubank Jr., right? Putting a few more things into his arsenal, teaching him to move, teaching him to throw a combo, and not stand there, get the hell out of the way. Check it out, that's what I like to see. He's doing something different. And I guarantee you that and the rest of them not doing the type of training with Chris Eubank Jr. himself has said multiple times he's never, ever had a proper full-time training. Shocking stuff. Shocking stuff. To think that you can come in a professional sport like boxing, win titles against elite level competition and quality competition, and never have a full-time trainer. My God, enough said. But the training doesn't stop there. He's also put in other things in his arsenal that I did like too. For example, Chris Eubank Jr. was getting jabbed out by George Groves when they fought. But Roy Jones is making sure that Chris Eubank is going to be the guy to do the jabbing. Check out this video right here. That's what I like to see, that rapid fire right there. Giving us fantastic fights, but you losing them. That's just going to mean your career's going in the flu, right? There's someone else who also agrees with what I'm saying. Just check out what Big John Fury said about the situation.
May I accept Chris Eubank? What a warrior! What a pair of nuts on that kid!
Yeah, what a warrior. What a warrior that Eubanks has got a big set. Of course he has, but he's got to be winning the fights that count. And so far, I did against James DeGale, give him credit for that. But he really let people down on that George Grove situation, right? But as I said, he's got a new trainer now. And let's have a look at another footage of what they're doing together. Now, this is one of my favorite parts of the footages because I really like what Roy Jones is doing here. Roy Jones understands that Chris Eubank Jr. is athletic, so he wants to use that to his advantage. But you can tell from this video clip who is a stiffer one of the two. Right there. A bit of pep in your step. You can just tell Roy Jones is natural with it. Now, guys, I will say this. If Chris Eubank Jr. can even take a little bit of what Roy Jones is giving him and implement that in his game, it will do a lot for him because offensively, Eubank is not that bad. He's a nightmare to have to deal with if you're trying to fight him in the pocket. But if he can incorporate what George Groves, what Roy Jones is trying to teach him, you might get something new. That's why I'm really interested in the fight. Now, anyway, let's skip forward now. We looked at Eubank Jr., we looked at some of the training he's doing, and it's all well and good, right? But now this guy he's fighting, seriously, guys, this guy he's fighting, right? This Marcus man he's fighting. Let's take a look at him, and I'm telling you right now, you might be a bit disappointed because he doesn't look very impressive, does he? You tell me.
Yeah, look, in an ideal world, I'd like to have had, at least a couple of fights throughout, the last 12 months through lockdown and stuff like that. But it's been like that for a lot of boxers, and there's not been many fighters that have had the opportunity to
putting me to sleep
to fight throughout the pandemic.
That's what he's doing.
Obviously Eubank's been out the ring a long time as well, so.
Now, guys, I don't know if you lot understood that, but it seems to me like he's been out the ring a long time, and so has Eubank. I mean, Eubank's been out the ring nearly 2 years, guys. So I'm not against him having a warm-up fight, journeyman, whatever. I haven't really seen this Marcus guy fight, but just by looking at him sitting there, so when I think he's going up against an animal, a beast like Chris Eubank Jr., boy, like, what's your record saying? But anyway, as I said, it is what it is, right? But I'm not the guy who's got negative things to say about this fight, but there's a lot of people who do, right? There's a lot of people who do. Have a listen to this and tell me the response to this, because these guys are really getting in on Eubanks, right? Check this out.
These fights, these wins that he's had, completely has padded his record to the point where now they're looking at it and they're going, well, he's a viable fighter for Chris Eubank Jr. So, like, all in all, in total, how many losses have these guys had in total in his last 7 fights? Do you have the figure, Johns? I don't know.
Yeah, well, in his last 8 fights, I counted it at 233 losses combined total, his last 8 fights.
So there you go. So now, as Chris Eubank Jr. really sat down with his management team, sat down with Calla and going, right, let's fight Mark Morrison. It's a fucking joke, mate. I honestly hope he gets chinned, and I hope Mark Morrison comes of age somehow and chins him and puts an end to this nonsense, because I'm off the Chris Eubank Jr. train. I weren't really on it anyway, but this is an absolute con. All it is using his name, and Eddie Hearn as well should have a little word with himself here.
Yeah,
sticking him on a card to try and justify the paper.
Now, guys, I'll be honest with you. In my opinion, to say Eubank's a fraud is a stretch. It's a bit of a stretch because, number one, never has Eubank stated that. Well, maybe he did in his early days, God knows, but Eubank's not trying to campaign like he's the best guy in the division. Just to say that he's a fraud, I think that's a bit of a stretch, right? Not a bit, it is a stretch, in my opinion. Now, let's cast your minds back to times when Eubank was really confident, yeah? Let's cast your minds back to times when he was really confident, because I want to see Eubank get that level of confidence back if he's put in the right training and he's going to implement it. Check this out.
Tomorrow night's a chance for you to add the WBA belt and advance to the finals. Are you experiencing any nerves at the moment?
Do I look nervous? Do I look nervous to you guys? That belt's coming on with me, trust me on that.
Let's see what the promoter's saying, because Callie Sauerland he's the one that's putting the show together, right? Let's see what he's saying about the fact that Eubank's got a fight coming up. He understands that people are not going to be happy about it, but Callie had 1 or 2 things to say. This is what Callie's saying, yeah? Pay attention.
he's been out of the ring a long time. You know, last year was a tough year, and this is a great fight and a great platform to bring him back. And as we said, the targets for the summer, the targets for the autumn, those are the big fights. And, you know, those are the ones also, obviously, we look that the venues are open again, but this is more of a sporting call, you know. Listen, we do have a track record of developing fighters and managing fighters and promoting fighters and world champions. So just trust us with what we're doing. Mustn't forget, his last performance in the UK was over 2 years ago when he beat James DeGale. That was over 2 years ago. Yeah. So, you know, I think we have the right plan, and this is the first step. And it's like I said, delighted to be on such a great platform, and I think it's a cracking card as well.
Trust the process. All right, Calais, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. We'll trust the process. I mean, I don't mind it. Let's see what Chris Eubank shows us. But you best tell him, do not knock the guy out early. We want to see what you learned with Roy Jones, right? Showcase and finesse your skills out in the ring. That's what we want to see, right? Now, Calais' not lying when he says that this fight is just happening in a sports hall. The big venues are going to be coming up soon for guys like Eubank later on. But for this fight that he's got this comeback fight he's got, it's going to be in just a small little sports hall. He is not exaggerating about that. Because, guys, check out what he's talking about. Right here, yeah? This is where Chris Eubank Jr. is going to be fighting. Do you understand? Chris Eubank Jr. is going to be fighting right there, where people are on roller skates and whatnot. The same, it's also used as I think it's used as an indoor skate ring or something like that, right? But that's where the fight's going to happen. Not the fanciest places in the world, but to be fair, I just want to see the guy in the ring, right? So let's have a look at what Naseem Hamid says, and hopefully he won't have to say this.
You know the ability. That's it. Naz, you know what I know. Heart alone and determination won't win you a fight. No. You need skill, you need ability, you need a little bit of luck in there. He didn't have any of that tonight. He didn't show any of that.
But listen, we don't want to concentrate all on Eubank Jr. because George Groves fought an almost near perfect fight. But
he didn't fight a perfect fight.
No, it's a near perfect though.
No,
but he won.
No. Duke says he boxed a pitch perfect, punch perfect fight.
What?
Let's get
The
something
old
straight.
man him out of
Let's
it.
get something straight. George Groves made so many mistakes tonight, and he's so beatable. And the fact is, you know, he showed his weaknesses tonight, and I couldn't believe the way he boxed too. I was disappointed with the performance of both of them. That's the truth.
And leave it at that. That is the first episode of it. Let's have it. Chris Eubank Jr. Let's see what happens. May 1st, Saturday coming up. Get your popcorns ready. Roy Jones, let's hope you've done some work with this guy. Let's hope you've done some real good work with this guy. Traversal ENT, make sure you hit the like. Make sure you subscribe. Set your notification. Comment down below. The whole shebang, guys. I'll be back with some more. Peace out.